Alright guys, last night we saw a major return, some questionable booking decisions, and some kind of juvenile language. Let's get right into it. I'm Rick Ucchino here for Sportskeeda Wrestling, and here is the good, the bad, and the ugly from Friday Night SmackDown. And as always, we will start with the good. Scratch that. We are starting with the great this week. Forget everything else that happened on this show. It is not as important as the return of Aleister Black. His first appearance on WWE TV since October, and only his second appearance on SmackDown since being drafted to the Blue brand. The Dutch Destroyer was featured in a new vignette where he told us a story about a father and son, and I think there was a funeral mixed in there somewhere. I don't know, it was kind of cryptic. Then he started bashing the fans. I don't really know. It was above my head, I didn't really get it, and I couldn't care less. The important thing is that Aleister Black is back on my television screen. Someone that talented has been on the bench for far too long, and it's time he got back to business. While I am interested to see where this new character is going to go, I just hope wherever the destination is, the journey to get there is relatively short. Please do not let these vignettes drag on and on forever like those old "someone please come knock on my door" segments that he used to do. Hopefully they have a plan, hopefully it's concise, and hopefully he is back wrestling in the ring sooner rather than later. My biggest question is, if Aleister is a heel, judging off of the comments that he made, he certainly seems to be heelish, who is he going to feud against? Daniel Bryan might be gone soon. Don't worry, we'll get there. Kevin Owens, been there, done that. Cesaro is being built for Roman, apparently. Maybe? Don't worry, we'll also get to that. I guess Shinsuke Nakamura or maybe Big E? Those are really your only choices. Everyone else on the roster is a heel. Houston, we might have a problem. Stay tuned. There were a few other cool things that happened on the show tonight, but frankly, I'm too hyped about Aleister Black to really care at the moment, if I'm honest. So let's move on to the bad. I know the story that they are trying to tell with Cesaro here is more of the tortoise and the hare, right? Slow and steady wins the race. Eventually, he's going to catch up and get his opportunity at Roman Reigns. At least we think, but this was not a good start for building the bulk of the show around the guy. And trust me, I do mean the bulk. The first 43 minutes were featured around Cesaro, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso, and Roman Reigns, but the central figure here was Cesaro, and then they even closed out the show with another segment centered around Cesaro. But they did not do much throughout the entire night, almost a full hour of featuring the guy to put him over. Everyone from Seth Rollins to Jey Uso to Roman Reigns just put this man down left and right and in every way possible last night, just completely dismissing him as a credible opponent for the tribal chief. The only person who came to his defense, who stood up for the guy, was Daniel Bryan. He did everything within his power to try and get Cesaro that title shot, and by the end of the night, it was Bryan himself who got it. What? Roman looked right past Cesaro and offered a third title opportunity to Daniel Bryan, and then Cesaro just said, "Well, you gotta take it. Have at it. Take my opportunity away from me." What the fuck? Look, if it were me and I was on the doorstep of finally getting my shot at the main event after busting my ass and being overlooked for 10 years, the last thing I'm doing is handing it over to someone else, let alone a former 5-time world champion who just headlined WrestleMania. But that's exactly what we're gonna get. Next week on SmackDown, it is Roman Reigns defending his Universal Championship against Daniel Bryan, and to make the stakes even higher, if Bryan loses, he has to leave Friday Night SmackDown. I know what they were doing last night was trying to build that babyface sympathy for Cesaro, right? Like, he just got dissed and mistreated the whole night, and by the end of it, didn't even get a payoff. I know they're trying to find a way to write Daniel Bryan off of TV, and Seth Rollins is still gumming up the works, so giving Cesaro a title shot against Roman immediately may not be the best move or make much sense. But overall, it was just a bad look for the King of Swing last night, and also something to watch out for here, as I brought up earlier. If Bryan does indeed lose next week like we all think he's going to, it's going to be interesting to see how WWE handles losing its top babyface on Friday nights. Who takes that spot? Like I said, not many guys left. And moving on to the ugly this week, I hate to be juvenile here, but when WWE is openly going there, I guess I have no choice but to go there as well. So Otis, the big guy, had a really good tag match alongside Chad Gable against the Mysterios last night. Really, really good. At least I think it was good, because I kind of blacked out early on after Otis told Dominic that he was going to, quote, "get this load."
What?
Yeah. Yeah, for a guy whose first catchphrase was, "I'm coming," that is either a very poor choice of words or someone has a really bad sense of humor. Either way, Otis needs some new material and he needs it fast.
Get this load.
That's our video this time around. Make sure to give us the old thumbs up there. Also, make sure to subscribe to the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel for more content like this, plus exclusive interviews and so much more.